Being a wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. The wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen. Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go. This is my point here with that. Yeah. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like, I know, especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls are yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
there it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
And what he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. Mm-hmm. Not sure responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
Wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. The wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen. Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go. This is my point here with that. Yeah. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like, I know, especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls are yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
there it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
And what he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. Mm-hmm. Not sure responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Candid Convos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Cole on deck. We got Vince on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hi, y'all. Where Vince at?
Oh, where is Vince? Hold on, my bad.
Did you put him
Where
on?
is Vince? Oh, there you go. My bad. I'm like, what?
There we go.
I'm like, where Vince at? Hold on. Let me get us in order real quick. My bad. All right, cool. Shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Let's do me a favor right out the gate. If you're watching us right now, hit that like button, smash that like button for us. Also hit that share as well. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe. Let's say we want to get these conversations out to as many of our people as possible. You know, grow our subscriber base. Let's say at the end of the day, just really get us to the next level, get us to the next position. So yeah, definitely smash that like button. Hit that share as well. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let me see what we got checking in early. Shout out to my guy, J.U. Griffin, holding down YouTube. He said, much love, respect, and blessings to everyone this evening. Appreciate you, J.U., checking in with us, holding us down every Wednesday night. So shout out to my guy, Donovan. He said, what up, though? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you joining us tonight, brother. Kenyatta in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, sis. Appreciate you holding us down. I got to check, see if I don't know if you jet lagged over there, but shout out to you joining us tonight. Appreciate you. Let's see, Eva Wright in the building. The Wrights in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, sis. Appreciate you joining us tonight as well. All right, let me do this real quick as we get into the conversation. Here's the link to join us on the panel. So you can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming into an Apple device, you got to use Safari. So yeah, drop this in your browser. Join us on the panel. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose. We always encourage you to keep it on. Make it easy for you. I said, get your face up here on the panel with us. I said, don't be scared. In addition to the video feed, we also have this in all the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Candid Convos page on YouTube or Facebook. You can send us a message and we'll get it to you that way. But yeah, definitely come join us on the panel. Don't be scared. Let's see. Shout out to I think that's I am Twan too. Let me know if I'm saying that right, brother. Good evening, good people. Appreciate you joining us tonight, brother. Holding us down, YouTube in the building. All right. So I'm going to leave this link up here for a little bit as we get into the conversation. I think we're going to get on.
Yeah, let me say, can I shout out our supporters real quick?
Go ahead.
So we just had a birthday. Our channel had a birthday, guys. And we just want to shout you guys out for supporting us. Y'all know it's been a long road for our channel, for our platform. We've been working. If you've been with us from day one, then you know we've been working. Okay, we really been putting in that work, but we appreciate y'all. Like our supporters are real supporters. Like y'all rock with us. You know, it's for those of you all who especially have been with us since day one, then you've seen, our growth, and you've seen how we've improved the content, and we just appreciate y'all continuing to support us. We love y'all. Drop a comment. Just if you've been rocking with us since day one, drop a 1 in the comments so we can just take note of you guys and give you guys your flowers. And if you're new, drop a fist in the comments so we can welcome you to our family. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, like I said, at the end of the day, out here in this social media space, for the folks who, are trying to bring good conversation, good content, genuine people, authentic conversation. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's a slow roll. It's a slow roll.
It's slow.
Yeah, when you come out here and try to do some legit stuff out here, and I'm talking about not just out here with the nonsense, not just out here for the entertainment, not just out here just doing any old kind of thing, folks on smacking on chips, you know what I'm saying, recording videos. Like if you ain't out here doing that, it's a slow progression. But I think that the one thing that has held us up is the loyal support.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of loyal folks who hold us down. You know what I'm saying? They share out the videos. They like the videos. They hop on the panel with us, hold us down every Wednesday night. I said, they really spread the information and support the channel. I said, you know what I'm saying? And that's got us some exposure to, you know, some of the big names out here in the social media space. So no, shout out to y'all. I said, shout out to the folks who hold us down consistently. I said, we're a smaller channel, if you will, especially if you count subscribers. We a smaller channel, but we growing. Yeah, we getting there. And like I said, we out here for a reason, and we do this for a reason. And like I said, when folks shoot us emails, folks reach out to us and say, hey, you know, I was watching y'all show, and based on what y'all said, I'm looking at things differently, or I made some changes, and now stuff is moving in the right direction. That's why we do it.
You're red. Okay, all right. We see you. We see you, and we see you, Tawan. We see you. Oh, we know about you, Ken. We know you. We know you a loyal supporter.
No, Kenyatta hold us down. Yeah, Donovan hold us down.
Look, if y'all don't know, this is the second iteration of our podcast. So yeah, these are definitely our day ones. Evo said the right's been day one supporters. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, let me pull this off the screen real quick. JR, what's going on with you, brother? Oh, I think you're on mute right now. Is he froze?
No, maybe.
I can't tell. He might be doing something. I'm just checking in. Vince, what's going on, man? You good, man?
Hey, y'all. I'm popping in and out. I'm doing my husband daddy duties. I got to pick up my son from work.
Okay.
I got you.
You know, I do. You know, I'm one of these husbands that actually do something besides pay bills.
Whoa.
Half the bills.
You wild, man. No, do what you got to do, man. But like I said, I'm trying to tell folks.
That was a hot one today.
Yeah. Them comments blew up, man.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt, man. Do your thing, man.
So don't pay me no mind. I'll be popping in and out.
All right, no doubt.
All right, now.
But yeah, see, this is what I be talking about right here. See, these fellas, husbands that y'all talk about don't do nothing after they get done working and all that. See, these fellas do be out here doing something while y'all be you know what I'm saying, capping on some of these fellas out here.
Stop the cap.
Well, there you go. Prime example right there. He running right now. JR, what's good, man? You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. How's everybody doing today?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I'm just checking in with you real quick, man, as we get started.
Yeah, and that's so good. Did you hear that it's somebody's birthday today? I'm missing something.
No, it's not a birthday. It's just a little anniversary of the show, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that anniversary as well. Congratulations.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. All right, we're about to get into it right now.
No.
All right, let's see. I think that's all the comments. Let's see. Even Wright said going in already. Come on now, Even Wright. We gotta get it popping in here. Let's see. Kenyatta said Vince. Yeah, see, Kenyatta, they swear these fellas don't be doing nothing after they get off work. And Vince over here, he running right now. But see, that's how y'all be doing us out here. That's how y'all be doing us. Shout out to my guy Joe in the building. He said Vince doing more than paying bills. LOL. Yeah, for sure. No, I said the job don't stop just because you get off your shift. That ain't how that work. But let some folks tell it. All right, so we're gonna go and get on into this conversation. See what we got tonight. So topic for tonight. Black men ain't all that. Y'all coming out with the heat with that title right there, man. Let me run that back. Topic for tonight. Men ain't all that. Okay. I guess we're gonna go and get on into this. So yeah, we got a couple videos that y'all sent over. Yeah, we're gonna go and kick off the first one.
I can go date an Indian, a Hispanic, a white man. Y'all not the only options out here who think y'all doing well for yourself, and that's the problem.
You know what's the problem with
y'all done put yourselves on a pedestal when it comes to black women. And y'all need to bring it on down because we have gotten to start dating outside our race. Okay, and finding a white man, you're not
okay. I want to know what her point was.
because I'm not getting it. You're basically saying that you can go date another race. That's wonderful. But so can black men. What's your point? Black men been doing it. They've been dating outside of their race, dating white girls, dating Hispanic. They've been doing it. So what are you trying to say? And then you're saying that black men put themselves on a pedestal. I think if anybody puts themselves on a pedestal, it's black women. And I'm just being honest. We're the prize. Guys should do this for us. Men should do this for us. Da-da-da. White women can't do this. White women can't wear their hair like this is ours. This is ours. This is it. Like, we put ourselves on the pedestal. So like I said, what's your point? What are you really trying to get at? Because I don't understand it.
Okay. Video number 1 for the night. Topic: black men ain't all that. Okay. Well, that's the first one right there. Man, come on, man. Hold on. Let me hold my cup, man, y'all. All right. So I'm sure y'all heard the young lady. So she said, you know, the brothers have put themselves on a pedestal. I need somebody to explain it to me. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about what the young lady said. Let me come to the panel. Have the brothers put themselves on a pedestal? Like, do y'all see that?
I mean, if y'all haven't put yourselves on a pedestal, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, I think that's a cap. Like, you know why it's a cap? Because black men are all that. Y'all are.
Okay, appreciate that.
I mean, because who else? Who else is there? Who else? I mean, listen, let's have a conversation, right? First of all, I don't really care. I don't care about what nationality you are, because race is a construct that was instituted to just divide anyway, right? It's not even a real thing. Like, black is not a race anyway. So I don't feel racist in saying this, because I don't have a problem with anyone. But I'm simply saying that if you're talking about preferences, and if you're talking about, we're speaking to people largely who are in our community, then yeah, black men are all that, because who else is there, right? I'm just like, who else is there for us? Like, we can all day long argue back and forth about these women. Well, they were raised in this culture, so they do this way. And these women were raised in this culture, so they do that way. And cultural differences exist, right? Which is why we should be talking about different cultures, not necessarily skin color or race per se, right? We should be talking about culture, because cultures are different and they do matter. So if we're having that conversation, then what else is there? Like the young lady said in the video, this is not new. It's not new for black men to marry and date outside of their race. This is not new. This has been going on for quite some time. I think that this phenomenon of black women wanting to date outside of their race is a little bit more trendy. Why do I say that? Because did we have interracial relationships before? Absolutely, of course. This is not a new thing, but it was certainly more rare. And I just think that black men have always had a little bit more access in a world sense than black women have, because usually they were the ones that were getting sent out. There were a lot of military men who would go to other countries and bring back their Asian wives, or bring back their Hispanic wives, or bring back their whatever, country or continent they came from, bring back those women. So I do believe there's a longer history of black men doing this. So passport bros really ain't new. It's just a trend now. But I think we have to just be honest and say that while black women absolutely have the option and have the opportunity to date outside their race, the truth is the numbers say that black women are still not preferred amongst other nationalities. They're still not preferred. So yes, you can. You have the option. You certainly can do this, but you're not the preference. You're not. But you know who still prefer you? Black men. The same black men that you're saying think too much of themselves and put themselves on a pedestal. They still want you. Meanwhile, the other nationalities, they can take or leave it. And so I feel like when we get on these platforms and we start talking about what black women can do, what black women can do, and black women can do this and black women can do that, it's so hypocritical. It's like, how do you say a black man put himself on a pedestal because he recognizes his value, and other women out here are beating down his door? As soon as you kick him to the curb, there's a German lady, what'd she say? There's no competition. There was no competition for her to get her black man. So it's just, I mean, you know, pay attention before you get left behind.
That's real right there. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Let's see. Donovan said, date yes, marriage not. Okay. Okay. Appreciate that comment right there. Let's see. I think that's I am Twine too. Let me know if I'm not saying that right, brother. As usual, overinflating value with other races. Yeah, no, for sure. See, JU said, let's see. I quite often hear black women say who else they can date, but never hear them say I'm currently dating. That's valid as well. Appreciate that comment, JU. See, Eva Wright said, let's see, she's hurt because why so much down talk to your very own men? They should have high standards. No doubt. No doubt. I got questions. See, Kenyatta said our race is the best race. Let's see, the question is why date outside your race? It's a good one as well. Appreciate that comment, Kenyatta. Let's see, I am Twine too. Let's see, we do not see a large amount of black women with other races of men in public. No, that's valid. All right, I got you, man. So yeah, I saw the video and I said, man, y'all be wearing me out with some of these. Y'all be wearing me out. But I saw the video, man, and I'm just like, when is this man gonna stop? Yeah, it's like it always comes off like we competing with each other, and I'm like, we not each other's competition, like we never were. And it's like the young lady is saying that, you know, these brothers put themselves on these pedestals. And I'm like, sis, how so? I mean, let me ask this question. See, I'm have to go and get right on to it. Let me ask this question. Drop a comment specifically to the ladies. Ladies, are we dealing with a situation where ladies today are looking down on black men? Like, is that what this is? Is this just some looking down on, you know, some disrespect? Like this cat ain't this cat a nobody? Like, is that what this is? Yeah, but is that what this has turned into? Because I don't see brothers putting themselves on no pedestals.
Yeah, y'all broke.
Right, there we go with that again. Right, all the brothers broke out here.
Why y'all brokies out here?
Yeah, all the brothers broke out here. But I don't see no brothers putting themselves on no pedestal. Now, I do see some men understanding their value. If I do see some men saying, based on me understanding my value, I'm moving different, and I'm no longer going to tolerate certain things because I'm worth more than that. I do see that going on. If I do see fellas stepping up their game, I see a lot of fellas trying to get working to get their money together, thinking more long term. I see fellas pulling back from some of the reckless sexing they was doing. I do see that. I do see fellas asking questions now, questioning some of the things that's going on, especially as it relates to some of these young ladies that they used to interact with. They're questioning things now. So I do see that going on, but I'm like, I don't see no fellas putting themselves on no pedestal. Yep. And then going back to Eva Wright's comments, she said they should have high standards. Yeah, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a black man today having higher standards, especially once they understand their value? Like, what's wrong with that? I would think we would be championing that. I would think we would want that for the brothers out here. Because I've seen instances where young ladies will say, you know, black men need to do better. Okay, cool. So then they start doing better. Now they putting themselves on a pedestal. Man, so I need somebody to make something make sense, man. You want to say something, Vince? I saw you come off, man.
Yeah. Well, first, I hope my son bring me a spicy chicken deluxe while I'm out here waiting, and one of them lemonades from Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, hopefully he hook you up, man.
Then I want to say that there is some progress being made. The brother who owns this Chick-fil-A, Remy called him personally and said, "Look, our son need a job," and he said, "Bring him in." He had a job the next week.
Right.
So I can say that we're making some improvements. You know, trying to be down for each other and help each other out. I'm gonna say that. Right. Now, my question is always when these women talk, why can't you get the man you want? They always talking about the broke man. Why can't you get the man that got some money? Why can't you get the man that want to take care of his kids? Why do we even talk about, well, these men need to step up? Well, find you one that's stepping up. Why we keep talking about the ones that ain't stepping up? I'm not talking about strippers and hoes and baby mamas. I want wives and queens. Right. So it don't matter what the other ones do. That's my whole thing. And this whole dating out thing is cap. And for men too, because most of the time you're going to date your surroundings. And most of our surroundings is very segregated. Unless we go to college, because most of them, so I see from the black women, most of them met their significant others in college or very early on in their professions, or they might live around them. And it's not the same availability because as your boy Kevin Samuel say, these white women ain't letting their good white men go that easy. You might can get the little weird guy at the post office, but you ain't getting Brad Pitt.
Right.
You ain't getting, you know what I'm saying? They act like they out here getting something, They out here getting the average white guy. So don't act, where we're gonna. I said, and then a lot of times, I said, have you ever dated a white man? Oh, well, no. Well, what makes you think if you can't get a black one, how you gonna get a white one so easily? That's just like me and white women. The type of woman, a white woman that I would be attracted to, everybody wants. The Scarlett Johanssons, them fine white women. I ain't talking about no average, Roseanne Barr. You understand me? So I mean, come on now.
Right.
So it's just a whole lot of cap, a whole lot of delusion. And I think men for so long have just took a lot of stuff and we ain't taking it no more. We ain't taking we ain't taking the mouth, we ain't taking the attitude, especially for the men that are stepping up, that are quote unquote stepping up. So that's the issue.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man. Yeah, and I think that's why I have to ask the question, you know what I'm saying? Because I said, once again, it comes off like this competition or this tit for tat. And I'm just like, the young lady in the video is just like, do you think because you say that, like that's going to affect some brothers, like they're going to be upset or something? Like, what do you really think that's doing? And that's why I said, I know that we are in this competition and we not respecting each other and we looking down on each other and we still trying to rate ourselves above each other and all of this nonsense. And this is the thing. Let me say this. This is the thing. I'm gonna say it just like this, point blank. I think we at a point now where everybody need to get themselves together. Yeah, if somebody is forever trying to portray like they better than the next, somebody always trying to portray like they got more money than the next and all this nonsense, and then the whole background situation be all jacked up. Yeah, we just be getting aesthetics. Yeah, we feel like because we got 9 businesses and we selling bundles and selling hair lotions and potions and everything else, somehow that makes us a better person. Somehow that makes our character better. Somehow that makes us more desirable to the opposite sex. And let me go ahead and burst that bubble. It don't. Yeah, it might pay your bills a little easier. It might allow you to catch a couple flights. But when it comes to relationships, that stuff is irrelevant. Yeah, your soft skills is what's important. Yeah, the way you move in your masculinity and your femininity is what's important. Yep, your unselfishness is what's important when it comes to relationships. Your mindset is important when it comes to relationships. But all of that material stuff, and I can tell the young lady in the video, that's what she alluding to. Yep, I can tell. That stuff is irrelevant. Yeah, but it plays no part in securing a long-lasting, sustainable relationship. And at some point, I need us to figure that out. Yep, all this surface aesthetics, material, cover up, masking, whatever you want to do, that is not going to secure you, the person that you say you want, especially if you have not gotten yourself to the point where you are even qualified for the person that you say you want. So yeah, man, we really got to think about that. Let me get a couple of these comments. Let's see. Kenyatta said, my friend circle are either married or dating black men. No, shout out to your friend circle. Yep, shout out to your friend circle. That's it. The best of the best. Say it just like that. Let's see. I am Twan too. Let's see. He said they say things about black men to avoid taking accountability for their own issues. Deflection. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of that going on in there. Like I said, when I look at a lot of these conversations and these videos, it's just this tit for tat, this back and forth. Yep, and I'm like, do you have yourself together? Have you addressed your issues? Do you hold yourself accountable? Yep, just pointing the finger at somebody else, talking about they putting themselves on a pedestal while you slick slide putting yourself on a pedestal. I mean, that's just diabolical. Yeah, the young lady in the video, she ain't think I caught that. Yeah, she was pedestalizing herself in the video. So, man, we got to keep it a buck out here. Let me check in with the panel real quick. Let's see. We got Joe. We got JR. Cole is on here as well. Y'all want to say anything or y'all good right now? Just come off mute if you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's copium, you know? Like, why is it that? Because it's not to say that black women aren't beautiful, because they are. But your attitude, your mindset, I don't care how beautiful you are, it makes you look ugly.
Facts.
That's just how it goes. If you know what I mean. And if black men are opting out to deal with that, what the hell makes you think you're another race who doesn't understand you as a human being, with your culture, whatnot? What makes you think that they can understand where you're coming from, even if a black man has had enough for you, black ass? That's how it goes. So the copium comes from bringing a black man down because we're getting the results with probably majority of the races, and you got to sit there and cope and hope that black men, still keeping at you lot. Hence why they attack the passport bros, that they're no good, etc., etc. But if he was good, he would have stayed, right? He tried. You told him he wasn't good enough. He's gone where he's appreciated, loved within the culture that he wants. And it's a win-win for both people. But within the Western world, not just so much black women, I think all of them think they're better than what they are. And it's not just the black women, I'll say majority of the races, but because obviously we are within our culture, we deal with our race predominantly, so it'll probably feel as if it's the black women that are on that type of flex more than the other cultures, because we probably don't deal with them on a larger scale like black women. But like I said, it's copium. We ain't done nothing to you. I like who I like, right? I liked you, you didn't like me, I'm gonna go elsewhere. That's how it goes.
That's real right there. Appreciate that right there, man. Let me get some more of these comments, then I'll come back to the panel. Let's see. Kenyatta said, I teach my sons they better value themselves because they are the prize. Okay. Appreciate that right there, Kenyatta. Let's say young men definitely have to understand their value and they have to move in that and live in that. And their actions have to reflect that as well. So shout out to you, getting the young fellas in order. Eva Wright said, right, she thinks she's good at the game, but is unknowingly showing her cards. She's going to continue having a hard time, unfortunately. Yeah, no doubt. Eva Wright, she thought she was slick. I'm all over that. Thought she was slick. See, shout out to our Jizzle in the building. So I'm late. What's up, everybody? What's going on, our Jizzle? Holding it down for YouTube. Appreciate you joining us tonight. We just really getting into it. But yeah, these brothers ain't out here pedalizing they. So we gotta, man, where folks be getting this stuff from? Yeah, where folks is, you know what? I would appreciate if folks would just keep it a buck, right? And what I mean by that is instead of coming out here on these social media streets and putting these videos out here saying it's this nonsense, it's like, why don't you just keep it real? Yeah, tell this brother what you don't like about what he doing, or tell this brother how he got you feeling, or better yet, be honest and say how you feeling because of decisions that you done made. If instead of all this capping out here talking about brothers pedestalizing themselves, it's like, just keep it a buck. Yeah, be honest. Yeah, I done made some bad decisions and now I'm in my feelings about this. And when you come around here, you know what I'm saying, walking like you understand, you know what I'm saying, what value you bring, it make me feel a certain way. Like, just be honest. And we talk about, you know what I'm saying, men and women need to do better at communicating, but then yet we still keep putting out these type of videos. Yeah, just be honest. Yeah, but everybody at the end of the day got some work to do or some work that needs to be done. Now, if you're going to go ahead and take care of it, or if you're going to continue to make excuses, that's your decision. But ain't nobody perfect out here. Everybody got something they need to work on to get themselves together. Yeah, but I promise you, once you actually authentically do that work and keep it honest, most likely things will start to change. It's really that simple. All right, I'm going to slide us into the next one. So we got a couple. Oh, go ahead, Joe. Then I'm going to slide us into the next one. Go ahead, Joe. I don't hear you, Joe. I don't know if you're saying something. I can't hear you. You trying to say something, Joe?
Is that better?
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I think, yeah, what that woman was saying in the clip is, I very rarely hear it verbalized in that way. From my own experience with dealing with a lot of black women, dating or otherwise, it's not so much what they're saying, it's the way you're treated. So what she's describing is how they treat black men, but I guess it's a social media thing where they verbalize what they're saying. I think it's because they maybe feel more comfortable saying how they really feel in an environment where um, I guess they won't get attacked. It feels safer for them to do it, but in real life, it's more like an undercurrent attitude and mentality. They treat you the way she's talking about. It's kind of like, it's just like how we, like back in the past in the 60s or 50s, racism was very overt. It was very in your face. They would sick out the dogs. They would release the hounds. They would, take off the fire hydrant, let the water. They would do all kinds of hang you, anything. They told you they didn't like you to your face. But nowadays it's more covert. It's more underhand. It's like a passive aggressiveness. You don't really know if it's racism, but maybe a little bit down the line you go like, damn, that was racist. It's kind of like that. It's weird. So it's like they treat you the way she's talking about, but it's not. It's much more like a spider weaving this web. It's just kind of like you get trapped and you don't see the web, but you're trapped in something, and yet this black widow is just trying to devour you. That's what it feels like, and that's the kind of mindset. So you kind of like pick up on that subtle behavior over time, and then in my case, I just learned to avoid them. because it was so prevalent. Where if 8 or 9 out of 10 is that way, is it worth taking that risk on the 1 or 2 out of 10 that aren't? Um, Whereas in other races or other ethnicities of women, it's much more overt about the way they treat you. They'll come up and say they'll compliment you about your clothes, about your sense of style. They'll openly flirt with you. They'll openly tell you, I admire you. They're very flattering. They go out of their way to stroke a black man's ego, or any man's ego for that matter, is a good thing to do. And then that man feels empowered. He feels like, wow, she looks at me in that way. So then naturally he's going to go towards that woman, regardless of the color of her skin or her ethnicity. It does feel weird at first because it's like, well, that's weird because I grew up with these type of women. They don't look at me the way that these women who I don't grow up with, they see me in this way. And so it's weird, kind of like you're balancing this line of these women I grew up with, shouldn't they see me the way that these women who I didn't grow up with treat me as? So then you kind of like, well, I still like black women because I grew up with them, but they treat me poorly. And these women over here, they're cool, but they treat me the best. So which way do I go? Which way do I go? Um, I personally made the switch over to the other side, just because it's just the treatment is just so much better. Um, I mean, I've had them do like drawings of me, portraits of me. I mean, it's crazy. Like getting candies and flowers, things that I would do for black women that they would take for granted or throw it in your face and make you seem like you know, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, they don't appreciate it. Maybe these type of women will. And they do. They eat it up. And I think that's a big part of the reason why when we deal with other ethnicities of women, they receive us a lot more warmly and the marriage rate is a lot higher. The take rate is a lot greater. It's more harmonious as opposed to, I mean, I don't really hear a lot of stories about men from other countries coming to meet black women the way that we, not just black men, but all men within this country tend to go out and look elsewhere for other ethnicities of women because of the way they treat their man within their community. So it's not the reverse with black women. They can go out and date whoever they want, even white men. But eventually they see and experience a lot of the same things that I felt for so long, um, that they haven't experienced. They might have heard about, and then they haven't experienced with it, and then they say, oh, and then they end up going back to the type of women that they grew up with, which is typically the white women around them, which have the straight hair, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, which a lot of black women tend to emulate in the way that they dress and their styling, um, because they want to attract those type of men who are interested in those type of women. But the problem is that you can match the aesthetic all you want, but you can't emulate the attitude or the mannerisms or the behavior or the culture that those women that they're attracted to come from. So
I got you.
that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I got you. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you. All right, we're gonna switch up. We got another one to run. Uh-oh. It's Cole. She ready? You ready, Cole?
My 2 cents to that comment. I understand what you're saying. It can be frustrating, but all black people aren't the same. Okay, everybody has their different experiences. Yes, it might be more difficult to find that specific person that you're looking for. Um, but I feel like once you find that person, I mean, you go there. Um, and I mean to the men or women that do decide to date outside their race, that's fine. That's great. If that's what you prefer, that's fine. But what I find the issue with is people that decide to date outside their race, and then you trying to bring all the black culture with them to that person. Don't do that. You gonna take what black people come with everything, or you leave it. You can't have it all. And that segment of people, I don't mess
That
with.
part.
We don't do that. We don't
That
do that.
part. That part. Come on, with
We
it,
don't do
sis.
that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
We
Cole.
don't do that.
Go ahead.
I'm running back and forth right now, trying to finish cooking too. So I've been
This is
listening.
that part. If you don't like, if you feel like black men ain't this and black men ain't that, then when you get, Roger or whoever you get, Jeff or whoever, don't be trying to take him to the black barber, get his
Yep.
hair
Don't talk
cut,
about slavery. Don't talk about none of
introduce him
that.
to
Don't talk
fibers,
about none of that.
doing all of this stuff. Don't do that because
Nope.
you don't do that, right? because it's the same thing that women complain about with other women in other cultures copying Black women. It's the same thing. If you said you're good with dating outside your culture, that's fine. Okay, do
Yes,
you?
absolutely.
But don't be trying to turn them into something that they not. They got this whole trend. I know you done seen it called the Black effect.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
a girl get with a Black girl, get with a white dude, and then a few months later, he getting faded.
All this
And
swag, all
you know
these
what I'm
heads
saying?
this way,
Or
that
All
cornrows.
these
way.
swag look like a Black dude swag. And I'm
That's
just
hilarious.
Yeah, but
and
see,
I'm just
that's
like,
the
why
aesthetics.
why can you
Exactly.
just
So leave it where it originated from.
leave
Leave
it
it where it's
right?
at.
Take
Leave it where
that
it's at.
take that Caucasian man
How he
and
was loving
get him
everything, fishing, whatever he
some
liked to do.
Wranglers and you know what I'm saying, a cowboy hat and some cowboy boots, and y'all go
Bruh.
to the festival. That's what y'all do.
Cowboy.
Man, let me get on. Let me get up out of here. I see that y'all about to, I see what y'all about to do. Let me get to this. We got a couple of comments, then we're gonna go to this next one. Hold on. Where are we at? Okay. Let's see. Kenyatta said, let's see, she seems like the type that's been around. And black men talk. Let's see, now she have to move around, thinking another culture won't know. Yeah, no, I feel that right there. Let's see, Eva Wright. Let's see, Kenyatta, that part in her stink attitude and unaccountability is holding her back. Yeah, no, that attitude goes a long way. Yeah, that attitude matters. Shout out to my guy Ray Banks in the building. Shout out to Bankos in the building. He said, LOL, they get them dripped out. Yeah, you know, Ray, you know, they got to give them the treatment, man. Get them in a couple Cardis, couple Force Ones, the white crispy boys. You know how I go. White tee, crease down the center. You know how I go. They got to kid him out, man. They got to kid him out. Let's see. Kenyatta said, at Cole, agreed. Okay, she's showing Cole a little love. All right, so we're going to get on into the second one. So this came over from Cole right here. Let me see what we got.
Hey, Tony Gas is here. Now y'all got to forgive me because I'm driving, and so I can't really pay attention to the camera, and sound gonna be probably not the best because I got my AC blowing. It's hot. Just seen a video where a lady was look like she's in Africa, and because she got a pretty strong accent. I think it was an African accent, but I'm not sure. And she was saying she need a husband, and she was crying, saying she need a husband that, like, you know, she'll cook your food and all of those things like that. Man, it's like I could feel it. Like I could feel that cry. Like I could feel her pain. And it's sad all the way around. And I know on one side I could say, well, she just got to work on her. You know, I could tell that she, in her face, she not that healthy, that she could be eating better and working out more and just living better. But when you that hurt and you that lonely, that increases cortisol in your body. And that's gonna make you eat more and eat more carbs and more sugar. And then that's gonna blow your face up and it's gonna swell you up. And so everything affects everything. So it's like on one side, if she could find peace and find joy and work on herself, then she's going to look better, glow more, radiate more, show up better in the world, and going to attract a man who is ready and willing to love her and marry her. And a lot of times we don't think about how when we don't find peace in the midst of pain, when we don't find, and I used to go through this myself being an entrepreneur, because at times as an entrepreneur, you know, money is up and down. Like it depends on the season. And at those times, most people, when things aren't going your way, what do? We cave. We get depressed, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get flustered, we get worried. And in that space, what happens? We can't produce. We can't think clearly. We want to eat. We want to dream. We want to just do something to get a dopamine release, some type of chemical release to take our mind off of where we are struggling. And it's also sad with this lady because it's a lot of men who are her equal. Even though I can tell that she's a little overweight and unhealthy, it's men that are overweight and unhealthy that are her exact equal. But a lot of men today don't want to get married, want to sleep around. But also, this woman, she is hurting so bad, she went online to make a plea for a husband and she's in tears. But guess what? There's hundreds of thousands of women who are making the same plea in private with a man, with the man who is her equal. The man who is her man, he's able to sleep with a woman who is in shape and glowing and fit because she is able to mask her pain. She's able to work out through her pain. She's able to do skincare and hair care in the midst of her pain. But she's crying the same cry, but she's crying it on her back with her legs open for a man that does not want her or deserve her. So therefore, that man has no incentive to marry his equal because it's women that's settling and dating down for him, but not really because her emotional state matches his physical and emotional state. So what this gonna take is, it's gonna take men and women looking in the mirror, working on ourselves, growing, understanding the purpose of life, and doing better. We need to want to be better for ourselves and to be better for a spouse.
Okay. Shout out to Tony Gaskins for that video right there. Definitely check him out on all social media platforms. He dropped some great content, great videos. Okay, so Cole, we're about to go and put you on the spot. So you sent this over. I'm assuming you was hearing something in this video. What you thinking of this video? Then we're gonna work off of that.
A few points, and I think 3. One, yeah, you shouldn't beg for a man. Like they smell the desperation. That's not good. And the wrong man, of course, will take mad advantage. And I think that will allude to you just accepting anything, and on the guy's end, maybe he feels like he probably doesn't have to live up to the proper standard that he should. A woman, definitely, I've heard this a few times regarding like health and beauty. So I would say at this point, after much reflection and revelation, I do agree. It is beauty and health is important for yourself, and self-respect and self-love, not just, for the benefit of your partner. And I definitely agree with the point of like, knowing who you are, keeping yourself busy, not just keeping yourself fully centered around a guy. You are yourself first before you are with a partner. So knowing yourself and your standards and your boundaries are important first before kind of bringing that to a partner.
Okay. All right. No, I appreciate that right there. It's good observation. I'll say, yeah, anybody drop a comment, let us know what you thought about that video right there. So go ahead, Vince. You want to say something, man?
Yeah, my son is about to come, but I'm about to say something right quick. I can't stand that guy.
Uh-oh.
That's why I'm on this panel, because my dollar or what a woman think about me, I don't care not one bit. I'm not trying to sell no books. I don't have nothing for. I want y'all to come to my seminar. I don't care what y'all think about me. I got me a wife, so I can be honest with you. Fat people get married too. Broke people get married too. I done seen, he fat, she fat. He pretty, she ugly. He ugly, she pretty. All this, she don't meet his. I get so sick of that. What they deserve. They deserve what they get. People deserve exactly what they get in life 80% of the time. You work for what you get in this life. You know what I'm saying? Now, money you can't really control, but you can control your weight and your health. You know what I'm saying? So all this, if she wants a husband, then she needs to understand, okay, what do I need to do to attract the type of man that I want? Maybe you need to work on, your softer skills. Because I know pretty big women that are beautiful and are the sweetest, nicest women I have ever met. So it ain't just because you got a thing, because it's more beautiful women single than I see than quote unquote overweight or average looking women. It's the beautiful ones that are single because they think that means something in marriage. And my thing is, men don't want to be married because they want wives. Nah, these broke dudes, I don't like to talk to them either. These dudes talk about, well, there aren't any good wives out here. What are you doing? Oh, well, I shut up then till you get yourself together. Then maybe you can attract a wife. These guys want to be, oh, well, black women this and women this and women that. Well, what are you doing? Oh, I've been with somebody for 6 years and we're just, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, be quiet then. Make up your mind and get yourself together. Then maybe you can attract that submissive, cooperative wife when you show that you're going to be a responsible provider, leader, husband. So it go both ways. And that's why I love being on this panel, because I'm not no incel in my mama's basement. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm married with a beautiful wife. You see, I'm not an ugly guy. I'm just out here telling the truth. And until I got myself together, until I stopped being a cheater and a liar and said, okay, if I want this submissive, attractive, then I have to be the man that she wants. That's why I get the cooperation, because I'm not sneaky linking. I ain't, I got to have my phone. And niggas, brothers be doing all kind of stuff and then expect that their wife going to be submissive and all that, and they not doing what they supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we got to come off that. We got to be held accountable. And I think that's the number one thing. Nobody wants to be held accountable for their choices. Just like the feed that we were on today. I asked a couple more questions.
Right.
They don't want to answer those questions because they say, oh, man, well, was he working when you met him? Oh, well, he do this. And you got 4 kids. Well, you didn't know he wasn't go pick up after the one child? Come on now. We all done I picked bad the first time. It wasn't that. Oh, well, I just picked bad the first time. I learned from that and moved on, took full accountability and moved on. Oh, well, the next time I get married, ain't going to be no next time you get married. Well, I ain't going to get married unless ain't nobody trying to marry you. That's how my whole thing is, just this whole delusional mindset. And then one little quick more thing is, what is our culture? As Black people, what is our culture? I know people always say, well, everybody different, but people have culture though. If I look at my neighbors and their Indian culture, it's pretty much the same across the board. I look at some of my Caucasian neighbors, it's pretty much the same across the board. Their lives are very similar. 2 kids pregnant, 2 kids pregnant, 3 kids pregnant. They all go to the same schools. What has our culture become? We just do it's just anything goes now. And I'm gonna say it, and I don't care what nobody thinks. You got Christians that believe in abortion.
Talk about it.
My grandmama and grandfather, nah, you do what you want to do. You have a right to do what you want to do. But you got Christians.
Yep.
And scared to say something about it. Where's the church? Well, we can't, we can't say nothing because, and I understand it. 80% of the women sitting in that pew done had one. I get it. Let's just keep it 100. But where is our culture going?
Yeah, so to respond to that, Vince, that's a valid question. And I think the answer to that is we don't have no culture. Yeah, a lot of this stuff that we call culture today, this was given to us. This is a construct. This has come from things we've been fed, ways we've been conditioned. I mean, we get fed culture. Cartiers is a part of our culture, and that ain't got nothing to do with us. But that has become a cultural norm for a lot of us, right? So a lot of this stuff we get fed. So we don't have a true, authentic culture. A lot of that was stripped away from us a long time ago. So we just kind of nilly-willy in culture right now. But yeah, just to circle back to the video. Where am I getting the noise from?
That's Joe.
Okay. Yeah, to circle back. Actually, let me get some of these comments, then we'll go in a little farther. Shout out to my guy Hink in the basement. Definitely check him out on YouTube. He said, "What's good, guys? What's going on, Hink? Appreciate you joining us tonight." Let's see. Shout out to Mark Kendall in the building. He said Vince is cooking. Yeah, no, Vince was laying it down. Shout out to you, Mark, for joining us tonight. Shout out to Lily Robinson in the building. She said that's why women can't find a man. Appreciate that comment right there. Yeah, going back to the video. I think that was partially Tony's point. Yeah, I think he really was talking about, I know he's using the example of the young lady who, did the video and she was on there begging for a husband and all of that. But he really, to me, from what I heard or interpreted, he was speaking to the preparation. Yeah, he was speaking to the fact that a lot of us are just out here, if it be overweight, if it be traumatized, if it be, internal issues, if it be low self-esteem, and we just move in that. But then we want, or we think that being that way or moving that way is going to attract what we want. And that's not how that works. Yeah, but he really was speaking to the point of essentially preparing yourself or doing the preparation work, getting yourself together, getting your body together, getting your health together, addressing your traumas, addressing your shortcomings, for the fellas, getting your cash together, getting stable, getting your long-term plan together, sharpening your leadership skills. He was speaking to the preparation work that you need to do in order to attract this person or this compliment or this potential spouse that you're trying to attract. That's on a higher level, because we all say we want this person, and essentially this person we say we all looking for, they always, they got their stuff together. Yeah, they 6 feet tall, they making, over 6 figures, they this and that. It's like we always want this particular person, but for some reason we take on this mindset of this position that we don't have to do anything in preparation for that person. Almost like that person is just going to accept whatever. And that's not how that works. Yeah, we don't approach anything in life that way, but relationships. Yeah, like I said, when we decide we want to get a house, we start doing prep work to get ready to get this house. We start looking at credit. We start getting down payment saved. We start doing work to get prepared for these things. Yeah, but for some reason, when it comes to relationships, we just, here, this is what I got, or this me, and then somebody just supposed to say, okay, yeah, I'll take that, and that's not how that works. So yeah, I really think that's what that's what I interpreted as, or interpreted what Tony was speaking towards. It's really getting yourself together. If you say that this is what you want, get yourself together, and possibly you will attract that. Yeah, but if, for some reason we don't see it that way. We see it backwards. Let me see if I can get Cole. Where Cole go? I gotta get on Cole. Cole, where you at, Cole? Come on back. I need you to come on back. Let me check with the panel. Y'all want to say anything at all? Chloe, Joe, I saw you come. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I think that, man, he used her I think it's a good example for like the silent desperation that a lot of women go through. Um, Crying out, looking for, knowing what she wants, having this ideal or this dream of a relationship or the lifestyle that she desires, but it's not matching her current reality. So it's like there's a disconnect. So she's crying out of desperation because I think for a lot of women who are in her very similar situation, they don't, they can't make sense of why they're what they want ideally isn't matching their current reality, and they might not even know the path to get there because they weren't taught or trained as youth on how to do so. Like you said, Quay, we understand that there's a process in climbing up the corporate ladder, so to speak. We understand there's a process to achieve anything worthwhile in life, but when it comes to ourselves and our own autonomy, we aren't taught how to do the work and the preparation um, to attract the type of mate that we want in the future. So here you have this woman who probably doesn't even think her weight is an issue. She probably just think, oh, it's just this is just me. Um, so she hasn't made that connection yet. But if she's faced with that reality, she's either going to have a lot of pushback. She's going to justify it, or she's going to be depressed because she doesn't know how to actually make those first steps in order to begin to even attract the type of men she wants. So where she at could be at a one, but where she needs to be is a level 10. But now she's thinking about how far she has to go. So I think a lot of women kind of just give up because, well, I am where I'm at, and I'm just hoping that the guy who is at a level 10, where I am not, will come down to my level at a level 1, where I am, and accept me for who I am. Um, and it's interesting because when you flip the script, at least for most men I know, we understand that that's not the case. We understand that we can't be like broke college kids in our 30s or 40s or 50s. There has to be a process of elevation. We have to grow and progress. And as we progress and grow, the quality of the women we attract and we date also grows. So we understand that process, but there's a lot of women who kind of they stagnate at a certain point, and then they are who they are at 30 as they were at 20, or at 40 as they were at 15, but they're expecting a different result. So I think he was speaking to those women who are in that same position. Obviously, in our case, she's just overweight, but it's not just the overweight issues. Of course, the mentality, attitude issue, upbringing, culture, like you mentioned earlier, who they consume on a daily basis. Is it Cardi B or is it Janet Jackson? I mean, that's going to change your mindset fundamentally about how you even think about men. So now you have to not only change yourself physically to be physically attractive, but now you have to change yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's a lot of work for a lot of people, and that is a very difficult hill to climb for most. And so they would just simply demand that the other person that they desire comes down to wherever they are, so they can then live this blissful life that they imagine in their heads.
So I want to challenge one thing that you said, and I'm gonna come to you, Chloe. I want to challenge one thing. Where you saying that some of these young ladies don't know. I don't believe that.
Hmm.
I don't believe that. I think they do know. Yep, I think they do know. That's just like, and that goes for the fellas as well. I think they know as well. Yeah, when we talk about this, this essentially you need to make some improvements, or this, I know in the video he was referencing the young lady's weight and all of that. I think they do know. Yeah, if we're gonna keep it a buck. I'm saying with the fellas, I think that they know that they've fallen short as well. But they just they don't want to put the work in. If they don't want to make the changes, they just want you to settle for whatever it is. But they just don't want to put that work in. But I think folks do know. Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest about it. Let me come to Chloe. 'Cause I know you want to say something. Chloe, you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of expanding on that particular point. He did speak to that in the video. He spoke to the fact that, she settles in a way by bringing herself down to that man's level, But here's the thing, like he made this point, and I don't know if everyone caught it, but he said that, but really they're on the same level because mentally he's not there, emotionally he's not there. Like, and I think that we need to really pay attention to that, hone in on that, because a lot of us are walking around with these inflated values. We think that we are more valuable than we are to another person. So obviously each person has value in God's eyes, each person has value in their family's eyes. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your value to another person, right? Your romantic value, your, I hate to use a YouTube term, but your sexual marketplace value, right? We're talking about that. And if we are talking about that, then let's just be honest, right? Financially, you might be doing very well for yourself. So, okay, you got that working in your favor, but you might be emotionally void. You might be mentally, you know what I'm saying, challenged in certain ways because you can't see past certain things in yourself, right? So that doesn't put you above someone else because maybe financially they're not on the same wave as you are. But that person may have done the work. That person may have spent the time and the effort that you said, Joe, is so hard to do, which it is, but they may have taken that time to do that. And now you're overlooking that person because they don't have this other thing that's probably more a surface, and it's probably more about the aesthetics, probably more about the, you know, the fame of it all or the flash of it all, because that's usually what we go to first because that stuff's a lot easier. So, I think that right there, we need to address, right? Like there's some men who are saying, you know, a woman's physical attributes, the way she, you know, carries herself, she needs to work on this or she needs to work on that. Like Joe pointed out, these things are really, they're challenging and some people do give up. But I think that we don't talk enough about the other attributes for men, right? Like a man will get in the gym and, you know, get himself physically fit. A man will get his money up, you know, all things that women care about. So we do see you guys doing that. We see you guys making those improvements. However, are you also tapping out when it comes to your emotional intelligence? Are you also tapping out when it comes to having morals and having principles that you stand on? Are you also tapping out when it comes to your spirituality? Do you know what your purpose is? Right? Like those things, those are the harder things to have and to achieve. And if you have not done that work, then it really does not matter how much money you're making because you're just not valuable. Period.
Thanks.
Because what is a woman who has done the work, the one that you want? What is a woman who has put in the time and done the work and did all the things that you said she should be doing to herself? Because you're right, she should be absolutely doing those things. What value do you have to her if all you can do is cut her a check? You're not valuable to her either. We don't have that conversation enough. We talk about men getting themselves together when it comes to physical fitness and having their money up. And really, let's just be honest, we're really just talking about their money. Because a ugly dude with some money can get real far. So let's just be, we're really talking about, when we say men need to get it together, we're really talking about their social standing and their finances. And as long as they can pull, you know, they can put that together and they can get that going and they can level up in that sense, we ignore all that other stuff. So then men feel like they don't have to give the attention to it either. So when he said that, I caught that. This is not just a female issue. This is very much a male issue too. Because if a woman who is valuable, but she doesn't see her value, she's with a man who does not deserve her time, and she, you know, she giving something to this man that honestly he don't deserve.
Okay, that's real right there. Appreciate that. I see he's about ready to cut it loose.
No, I'm just saying we gotta talk about it because there's accountability on both sides.
That's facts. That's facts. All right, so let me jump on Cole. So me and Cole, we was chatting about this earlier. And Cole made a statement. I told you I wasn't gonna let this. I wasn't gonna let this go, Cole. Cole made a statement.
Oh my God.
And she said, let me see, hold on, let me make sure I say this
That's you
exactly right.
going back to the
She said, being with a man is extra responsibility. And I quote, being with a man is extra responsibility. So I told you, Cole, I told you I was gonna have to bring this up. So Cole, where's that coming
Oh
from right there?
Lord.
What you mean?
Lord. As I mentioned earlier, I can only
You can't make
give
this shit up.
Go ahead, Cole, it's on you.
I can only give my experience, and for me, it seems like there is extra responsibility emotionally that a woman has to have, um, mentally as well. Like it just it's a lot. It's a lot.
What?
It's not. Yes, yes, it is. Yes.
So wait. Okay. So you telling me, come on, you see Vince done came back on. Vince done, he out the truck now. It's time to get into it. What you said this man is extra responsibility, emotion. Go ahead, Vince. I see you shaking your head, man. Go ahead, Vince.
She right. Cause I'm a
He
whole
is?
I'm a whole job. I'm a whole job all in by
Amen.
myself.
Yes, yes, Lord.
Oh shit! To keep me to keep me
Record this
together.
moment.
I'm a
Record this
whole
moment.
job. Don't have me get Remy on here. And she got her hair done today. I'm about to get her on here. I'm
Well,
a
you a
whole
whole
job by
job.
myself.
Man, go
I'm a
get
whole
Remy,
job.
man.
I'm a whole job by myself.
Go get
Wait,
Remy, man.
can
Tell her
we
give
just
us 2 minutes.
Okay, let me see if I can get her.
See if she give us 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm about to go up and see if I can get her.
All right, bet. Go ahead, Cole.
yes, I do think so. And it changes per guy, of course. But I think again from my experience, like simple things, when you forget little things, and if you write down you remember stuff that they forget, you know, it
What?
add up. Yes, it add up.
I like this.
Wow.
Let her ride. This is
Oh,
interesting. I want to
that's
hear more.
Oh my God!
that's
Boy,
called
ain't no way,
over.
boy.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a
Boy, ain't
bad
no
thing.
way,
I
boy.
just said it's extra responsibility. I didn't say it was bad, but it's work.
Okay,
Nah, but you
so
had
It's
a
some
man
work.
undertone on that thing. Hold on.
I
She had some
did. I was
undertone on
stressed
that.
out. Yes, sometimes it get a lot. And sometimes you may not feel like it. Like I don't want to
Right.
remember what you want for breakfast or lunch, dinner, or I'm penting that you forgot this one thing and I got this thing that you forgetting in my hand. Like
What?
sometimes it be a lot.
Eva Wright. You hear this? Eva Wright, drop a comment. You hear
Oh
this, Eva Wright?
Lord.
Go ahead, Chloe. Go ahead, Chloe. Go ahead.
okay. I mean, I was just only gonna say you're right. That that is true. But
Wow.
I think
Lord, that is
whenever
true.
let me finish, guys. Okay.
No, that's not my bad. That's Ray over here. He dropped the comment. My bad. Go ahead.
Because it is true, but I think that the part that y'all missing is there's the other side to that too, right? Whenever you're in a relationship, you always have to consider the other person and help the other person and support the other person and all of that. The man should be doing that same thing, right? He's going to be doing things for you. Like just like you're sitting here talking about, well, I have to do this for him and I have to do this for him. I guarantee you there are going to be things on the other side that he's going to be doing for you that he has to remember to do every day, things that he has to take care
Hmm.
of, things that he has to oversee, money that he has to spend, provision that he has to provide, things that he has to do too, right? So what if men start saying, "Oh, I don't want a wife," because which they are, by the way. I don't want a wife because I got this responsibility. See, if it was just me, I don't have to worry about my stuff.
Look at
Now,
Corey.
her car, her gas, her tires, her brakes, her oil change, her see what I'm saying? Like if men thought like that, right? Then it would be a whole lot more unmarried women out here. So I get it.
Mm.
Mm.
You're not wrong. It does take effort. So I guess my thing is this. Just make sure that you are prepared mentally and emotionally and physically for that, because that, yeah, you cannot expect to get the benefits without doing the work. You know what's funny?
Come on, tell
Don't
us what's funny.
complain. Women don't complain about how hard it is to earn them promotions at work.
Mm.
When they gotta do the extra work, when they gotta work late, stay late, when they gotta work, when they gotta put in extra hours, when they gotta do all that, they don't say, I don't want this job because this job is extra responsibilities and I don't want. They don't
Interesting.
say that. But when it's time to pick a partner and consider being a wife or being somebody's partner, they're like, or being, you know what I'm saying, in a team, because being in marriage, you guys are a team. When it's time to do that, it's like, oh, well, this man, I'm gonna have to cook for him, and I'm gonna have to come up with what food he want to eat, and he might leave his drawers. I might have to pick his drawers up off the floor. Oh man, so much work, so much work. It's
I like that. I like how she brought that Vince call back from a while ago. That's interesting. That's so
I,
smart.
I had to touch. I had to touch this. I had to touch this. I
Yeah.
said we was just having a little conversation, and I'm like, Cole, come on now. You saying these men is extra responsibility? What I mean, how would y'all feel if the fella starts saying that?
I don't
Like,
know if
keep it a
she
buck.
meant to. She
I
kind of told the
mean,
line. She told the line a little bit. She wasn't like, she didn't say it in a way that was like disparaging, but it also wasn't like celebratory. It was kind of like it just is what it is. At least that's the way I got from it. So I can't
Now
say she
she
swung one way or the other. I give her that.
No, 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 no,
right.
no,
Go,
no.
go ahead,
Jr.
Jr. Handle
Get him,
that,
Jr.
Jr. Go
Here's
ahead.
how it goes, yeah. Last week, yeah, I was with her, right? This week, I'm not with her on that comment. Here's here's how it goes. Obviously, it's not Miss Cole personally or whatever it is, right? But yeah, this is the real problem that we do have today. So my apologies, I've got a train out in the back. This is the problem that we're having out here today, right? With this situation of why people aren't getting married, etc., etc. It's an extra job for them to do to look after a man, but they forget that real part as well of a man also has a job to look after the woman, and that's the real problem where they don't want to work for it, but they want the benefits. So,
Mm.
like I always say, I'm 29. I come from a different generation, and with what Miss Cole said, that's a lot of their mindset out here today. They might not say it, they'll show it. If they don't show it, they'll say it off rip. So I don't know what kind of idiot men are gonna be today to go and give women rings, right? When they open and show you and tell you that I ain't trying to do for you, but you must do for me.
Mm.
I don't know how that works, but all I know is right, it's never gonna be equal in a relationship. But that to me sounds like what women call today slavery. I'm a fool to do that today. And that's the problem where we've obviously mentioned that before, where men would point the finger at women, women don't want to get married, etc., etc. Now this is where we've had to reverse it now, where it's the men don't want to get married, but we've seen the women crying, right? But once upon a time, women knew what the situation was and what the order was. You get married, they ain't stupid. So we got to stop giving them a way out of they didn't know or they wasn't taught. No, you know what it's meant to be. So for guys my generation, we've always been told what we should do. But we sit here and we deal with these ladies today, and this is what we get. We don't get enough, but we are expected to give a lot. Once again, I'm not a fool. I've said it plenty of times. Ms. Cole said, hey, it's a responsibility to look after a man. Hey, I love it today because, like I said, feminism has given a lot of men a way out where I don't have to also be a man. And that's how it goes. Why do you expect to get that result if I'm not expect to get results from you the other way around? So yeah, ain't nobody getting a ring. We're gonna share the bills. We're gonna split that. For the guys that know how to play the game, yeah, they can get a kid without giving her the ring. That's how it
Okay.
is today. What you think? What I'm gonna give you a ring so you can then go and put me in child support. If we buy a house, take the house, and I got to pay you out for the rest of your life or whatever it is. No, thank you. You'll give me a kid. If you take me to the system, all I got to do is pay child support. What else can you take from me? Not much. So that's the way out they've given men. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm glorifying it. I'm not. That's just the reality today, and it shouldn't be that way. And that comes with the things that ladies are saying, and men are sitting there. Like I've said, I would be a fool to engage in that and get married, knowing that that is the mindset of why must I also look after this man, but I must what? Go out there and die for you every day. It don't make sense.
I feel that.
I want
I
to
feel
answer
that
that real
right there. I
quick.
feel that. Go ahead,
It's
Vince.
that's
My
Yeah.
bad. I'm gonna come back to you, Joe. You right after Vince. Go ahead,
that's cool.
Vince. Then we go into Joe.
Well, she putting the baby down, so she told me go ahead and do my thing. But
I got you.
I'm an equal opportunity smoke giver. So I don't understand a lot of times what these young brothers is talking about. Because yes, my wife has responsibility, but it's the only responsibility she wants. She loves the responsibility of taking care of me. She don't want no other responsibility. So I don't. Women don't usually leave men that are valuable, and I'm just not talking about money. She don't want to live this life without me. And if I lost half my money, she still would be with me. And this whole taking, you take chances in life. Everything is a chance. And the one thing I don't understand about a lot of these guys who talk this, she gonna take everything, but they still out here having kids, which I don't understand. You won't get married, but you'll have babies, which ties you into that person for the rest of your life, not just 18 years. It ties you in for the rest of your life. And I was pretty sure you're gonna spend more money taking care of that child and child support than you're gonna spend on maybe a 5 or 10 year marriage. And most of the time, these women are working and paying, so they deserve some of that. So a lot of I don't understand when these guys are talking about, and usually to me, guys who have that mentality are broke guys because they don't even have nothing to take. You people talking about they're gonna take this, so you ain't got it now. And I'm not talking about you, Jr. I don't know your circumstances, but I'm just saying in general. And it
No,
doesn't
no,
make
no,
any
no.
sense because the men who are successful usually they're married. If you look at black millionaires, I bet you 90 something percent of them are married because they understand the value of marriage and legacy, especially if you want kids. Now, if you just want to be single, don't have no kids, and be a player, that's something different. But how can you be a successful man and don't want to marry the woman and raise your kids in the house with them and build your legacy? We keep talking about generational wealth. How we gonna have generational wealth when we are not raising our kids? And I am going to say this: if a man is not in the home, it is dysfunctional. Period. I've been on both sides, and I glaringly see the difference. You have to be there every day to instruct your children, not just on the weekends, not just on summers, every single day. So I'm tired of a lot of these men getting on some of these panels talking about what women gonna take me. You ain't got nothing to take. Come on now, you ain't the average man making 40 some thousand. What you got to take that she ain't even put it. Most of the time it's both of y'all working. It's a very small percentage of men that are paying all the bills. Very small percentage. So let's come off of this. Women gonna take all my money and put me on child support. Da 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 da. Let's stop the cap on that end from us men.
Stop the cap.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because the men who got the most money get married. It's men get married 4 or 5 times. They ain't worried about no child support. They ain't worried about her taking something. Some of us men need to get healed too. And I come from a first marriage where I bought the house and we were married 1 year and I had to pay her half the equity of a house she never paid a bill in. And I was on child support, plus giving money, plus paying insurance. Had to work 3 jobs. So I know what it is. But I also understood, okay, if I want some more kids, I want to do it the right way this time. And the blessings that come from marriage have over exceeded all that fear-based talk. That's fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear. You ain't fear when you go to school and pay them $20,000, $30,000 and might not have no job. Get that fear out your heart, young brother. And if you don't want to get married, that's fine. But don't sit up here and act like, oh, it's women. Then get up your game. Up your game to where you're valuable. Shit, my wife, she ain't going nowhere. And she will tell you that. I believe she ain't going nowhere because she understands the value, not just for me paying gifts, but the value for her children. And we're going through a situation right now with our oldest son. And he's talking to a therapist. And he's expressing some things that happened, by him being in that single situation. And we're saying we're never going to have these other two to do. I'm going to stay in the house with it. If we get upset, I'll go downstairs, she go upstairs. Because we understand the value of our union. So that's what you need. You need to get your wife that got that. And there's something out there. Step your game up so you can get that. And I'm going to land on that.
Yeah, no, that's real right there, man. Yeah, no, I wanted to touch, as I said, because I know me and Cole, we was chopping it up. And it was an interesting statement, but I think for me it speaks to the mindset, right? So men are definitely a responsibility. Yeah, but women are a responsibility as well, right? But I feel like we can't look at it that way. Because at the end of the day, when you're approaching a relationship or a marriage, it should be coming from an unselfish place. Yeah, so you really shouldn't look at each other as a responsibility. Yeah, this is something that I signed up for. You know what I'm saying? This is the young lady that I picked to be my wife. So I want to make sure she got what she need to do what she got to do. And she's supposed to be looking at me the same way. Yeah, so I can't. I don't want to consider her a responsibility.
You trying to make me speak out of question?
Hey, I told you I was gonna bring this up because I'm like, this is a value add conversation right here. But yeah, we shouldn't look at each other as a responsibility.
Go on and speak on it, Cole. She got to get off her chest. Go ahead,
Cole. Come on, Cole. Come on, Cole.
Go ahead.
I definitely agree with all that has been said. I would just say I gave that comment a little stressful tone because of my situation currently. And when I think about today specifically and what I thought about today, it was, I got up early morning, did a little studying, had to work my job from 10 to 6, had another meeting, then had to go return some pants, and then friends showed up, and I'm thinking in my head, I didn't halfway prep this particular meal, and I need 20 minutes to prep the other half, which is why I was running back and forth. So knowing him, he doesn't eat American food. So I'm like, all right, oh snap, I think he's talking trash in the back. He doesn't eat American food. So I'm like, all right, you called me earlier, you told me that you're probably gonna be around, you have a couple hours. I know a couple hours ahead of time I need to finish this thing on stew on top of everything else. So for me, with all the things that I have right now in life, it is a little stressful. But do I enjoy doing it? And I think that was Kenyatta or somebody, she asked me, was the extra responsibility worth it? Yes, it is. I enjoy it. I just have a lot of other things on my plate where sometimes it can be a little stressful.
Okay. All right.
Let me snap. I appreciate your vulnerability and you sharing your personal experience. So I'm just gonna go ahead on and speak on it too. Do you got your headphones on?
I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I do.
I don't think it's worth it for you.
Whoa, wait, whoa.
In this particular,
I don't think it is at all. I don't think you think it is either, sis. So woman, oh woman.
I'm confused.
Need to,
it's inside conversation.
Because when it's worth it, it don't feel like a responsibility.
Oh, got you. I knew that's good.
It is. Don't get me wrong. It is a responsibility, but when it's worth it, it does not feel like a responsibility. I'm just saying, from somebody who has been doing it for 17 years, it is a responsibility, but when it is worth it, it does not feel like that. When you get to the point where you're going, I gotta, you have to think about that thing right there. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That was the gym right there. We ain't trying to heat nothing up. I don't know. No, you good. You got the headphones on. I think you might be straight. Yeah, we ain't trying to heat nothing up, Ryan. But yeah, I just had to mess with you about that, Cole. Because I said I know you. Like I said, we chopping it up. You made that statement. And I said at the end of the day, let me agree with Chloe on that. Like I said, when it's worth it, that's not what it feel like. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, what you need, how much you need. Yeah, we're gonna go and get that, and it is what it is. So yeah, it's not extra responsibility, and it definitely shouldn't feel that way. Let's say Kenyatta said agreed, Chloe. Even Wright said that part. See, Kenyatta said thank you for answering the questions. Yeah, she was talking to you, Cole. But yeah, I had to put you on the spot real quick. I told you I was gonna have to bring that up so we could have that conversation real quick. Which, like I said, I think it was a lot of valuable points. You know what I'm saying, that came out of that little segment right there. Which I figured it would be. All right, I got one more. And then we're gonna get on up out of here. And I think this one, I gotta give this one a platform. I posted this, but I gotta give this a platform because I think it's worthy of the platform.
Like I think about, Brother Paul Walker, and I think about John Singleton, your mother. Divorce. Both of my sisters died. Your sisters. People don't look at divorce as grief, but you did. You lose things, You probably lost a lot of friends when you went through your mental health breakdown. Are you really, have you really taken the time to deal with all of that grief? Or do you just try to stay busy to avoid it?
I'm doing the best I can with every 24 hours I get. That's it.
Get some tissue for me, brother.
No, I don't need no tissue. Black men cry.
That's right.
Fucking tissue. Every 24 hours I get, I'm doing the best I can. Beautiful Pain, 1992. There is no square footage I could ever live in. There is no rims, no jewelry, and no car. There is no net worth. There is no press release. There is no co-star. There is no collaboration in the world that could ever replace my mama. That could ever fill the void of what it's like to wake up and get married and want to be in something for the rest of your life. And it goes away.
You making me cry.
Get Tyree some tissue. Yeah,
I don't need no tissue.
Man, you US, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love you.
You've been holding this
Do
in
you
the whole
understand
interview,
how much power it is in letting it go?
Yeah, because you've been holding it the whole interview. I've been watching you.
You asked me the question.
I did, but I mean, I'm giving you some
You should have never asked the question
I love you,
if
brother.
you didn't want to see
I love you, brother. I love you. I love you.
how hard it's been to get through.
I love you. I love you, black man.
Okay, do you not cry?
Absolutely.
You might not bring it to the radio,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
but this is what being grown
Thank
is.
you, brother.
I'm not doing this.
I need one. My makeup going to mess up.
Hear me.
My concealer
Hear
is
me.
sitting today.
Hear me. Black men cry. When divorces happen, women aren't the only one that are devastated. When a miscarriage happens, women are not the only one that you should be checking on. When you can't put food on the table because your career goes up and then it goes down, stop calling, skipping over the man, and just checking on the woman.
All right. So yeah, shout out to Tyrese for this video. So I posted this video, but I've been seeing this video circulating, and I think I had to give it a platform, right? Because he made a good point. Yeah, but I really want to present the question as to why or what's behind it. So he made the point of essentially when these things happen, these divorces, you know, he mentioned miscarriages. He mentioned not being able to provide, or, you know, money not coming in right. So, you know what I'm saying? You're struggling out here. Why does it seem like it's one-sided for the care in that situation? Yeah, why is that the case? Go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off. See, Cole came off. Both of y'all came off. Either one of y'all go first.
Man.
Yeah, let me let Cole get it first. I'm coming to you, Vince. Go ahead, Cole, and we'll come to Vince.
I feel like that goes back to probably some issues that we have in our community, where the thought is that the man is always thought to be strong. So I don't think that's a fully fleshed out situation that, you know, needs more conversation, because I've definitely have seen, you know, men hurt from certain situations like that, and I didn't think differently until I actually saw like a guy cry over you know, that type of situation. So I think that's still something where you know, the men's emotions need to be kind of, I guess, exposed more, and understanding that, you know, he is a human first and has emotions.
That's real. That's real.
I
I
have a
appreciate
question.
that. Right.
hmm
Go ahead, Joe. Let me
Or,
come
well,
to
actually, the
Vince.
women. Okay, for both Cole and Chloe. When you first experienced a man crying, like in your presence for the first time, not like on the internet, like we say, um, how do you genuinely feel about that level of vulnerability from a man? Because in my experience, it seems that a lot of women don't take it very well. They ask for it. Oh, just let it out. I can see it. It's like that. But when it actually happens, it's almost like there's a little less, not even a little, maybe a lot of respect that's lost for that man in some cases. It's almost a risk if a man does that. So I want to know what's your personal experience, and the man that you dated or married or whoever, how you handled it genuinely.
Yeah, and that going back to what I said about, you know, a man's emotions needing to be exposed more, so, you know, that women understand that men are human. For me, it was a learned behavior to nurture. So originally, I wasn't the type of person to disrespect it. I just didn't know what to really say or do. Um, so I would just kind of just be silent and just kind of sit there. Um, but then it transitioned to, asking the person if they need anything, and in some situations understanding that some men won't speak, so to just kind of be there, being present, and probably just either just giving them positive words, understand that they may not say anything back, but understanding that they actually hear you, again, became a learned behavior. So I definitely have learned to kind of nurture in different ways.
Appreciate that right there.
I think for me, when I grew up with brothers, I had I'm the only girl in my immediate family. So, I had the opportunity to experience, men having emotions actually and expressing them. And I am an empath anyway. So I feel other people's emotions. Like I can literally feel another person's emotions. So for me, um, I I'm glad to see it. It doesn't change the way it doesn't change the way I look at a man because men are people. So how can like how can we ask a man to be emotionally intelligent but then don't want him to express his emotions? Like that's crazy. Like a man that is emotionally intelligent will know how to express himself. It doesn't mean he's going to be walking around all the time in tears or walking around all the time angry. No, he knows the appropriate reactions. He knows how to control his emotions. He doesn't let his emotions control him, but he also can express them as well in a healthy way. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I would much rather have a man let that out in the way he's feeling it. If you're sad, if you're hurt, I would rather you do that than to hold that in and get angry and it starts eating away at you and then it manifests in some other really toxic way. Like I think that we don't understand that you can only hold that kind of stuff in for so long. It's going to come out. And when it comes out, by that time, you don't know how it's going to show up. So I would much rather it come out in that way and you be able to get that release. Why can't we? I don't get men need to release too. Like, why do we think that? I think that's so, and maybe because I grew up with brothers and I grew
Yeah.
up around men. Like, I guess I just don't understand what do we expect? Like, I don't know.
I think it also depends on the generation. And in this case, prime example, my father. Unfortunately, that's where that I don't know what to do with emotion behavior came from because he is a man that will go through the worst and still keep a silent look on his face. Um, so after really understanding why he's that way, which is really because his mother was that way, and dealing with his trauma growing up as a kid, that is why he became the way he was or is. Um, so I really had to separate like his learned behavior and how I am as a person and kind of learn how to meet him where he is and figure out the ways to kind of deal with his emotions, like when he lashes out, when he's quiet, when he don't want to call, and all of that. It's taken some real work to kind of get him to a point to kind of communicate his emotions. And now, I mean, he's not perfect, but he's to the point now where he will call and say, I'm upset, I'm this way, I'm that way. And I'm like, well, who did you talk to before you talked to me? And you say nobody. I'm like, okay,
Hey,
okay.
I hear
can I
that.
ask
I
a
hear that.
question quickly, please?
Go ahead, Jr. I'm gonna let
Yeah,
Vince.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. Mr. Vince wants to go next, so I'll just ask it to him, and he can just answer that. He can take it away from there. Yeah, I'll just basically ask, obviously, to the guys, but Mr. Vince, you take it away. Um, is there a way that a man can cry and still be able to remain a man. Because a miscall man is something about don't let your emotions control you, right? So I'm trying to picture it in my head. You know, my girl sitting there with her arm on my shoulders or whatever it is, and I'm just letting it all out, or I'm just sitting there and it's just the tears are coming down, but there's nothing showing type of thing. Like, so is there like a way that a man can cry but still be regarded as a man rather than, boy, you went too far?
No, I mean, is there a way? No, no. Can I just say this? Like, I'm like genuinely this. I'm not saying this to be funny or facetious. Like, I'm sorry that you guys have to ask these questions. Like, for real, y'all. Like, I'm sorry that we've made you feel like you have to ask these questions. Like, a woman never has to wonder if she has to cry a certain way. Like, a woman never has to wonder if she'll still be considered a woman if she expresses her emotions. Like, that's crazy that you guys, unfortunately, have been put in a situation where you have to worry about if you express your emotions in a certain way, are you still going to be respected? Are you still going to be considered masculine and a man? Like, that's crazy. But this is the world that we live in. Like, it is. So you asking that question, I get why you're asking it. I'm just sorry that you have to. Like, you should be able to express yourself however you need to. So now, and this is not at you, JR, because you asking a question because it's a valid question. But so now a man has to try to cry a certain kind of way, or he has to try to, like, I mean, no, I'm being serious. Like, that's crazy that this is where we are. Like, we can all walk around here and say, oh, it's 2024. You know, we doing this and we doing that. If you ain't doing this and if you ain't, but in 2024, a man still can express his emotions. That's crazy how far we've come, and we still haven't come that far.
Yeah,
no, I get it.
Like, but no, like, you're right. Like, for me, I guess I can't speak for every woman, but you let that out how you need to let that out. Like, I want you to let it out, because what I don't want you to do is be on the 11 o'clock news. So however you need to let that out, get that out, be free. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it with your significant other, like, I do get that, right? If you don't feel comfortable doing it with your significant other, then find somebody that you do trust, that you can confide in that way. But please get that out. I guess that's the only option. Like, I get it, not wanting to do that with your significant other. Maybe you have a bro or a sister or somebody that you can express yourself with like that if you feel like you're going to be judged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me come over to Vince. Go ahead, Vince. It's on you, man.
Hope I'm not long-winded on this one, but I seen that the other day, and I was actually going to send that to you about Tyrese. That was very personal for me. I met my ex-wife when I was 14 years old. We had my first daughter at 17. We got married, had my son. The next year, we separated. She left. I told her, look, if you want to go, you can go. But until you get yourself together, the kids can stay here with me. And I was devastated. I was heartbroken. Even though our relationship was not the best, that still was my wife and the mother of my kids. And I would listen to Brian McKnight, One Last Cry, and cry myself to sleep at night because my family was gone. I would take my daughter to Bates Academy and I would listen to I love Brian McKnight. I know he's going through a thing right now, but his albums were the soundtrack to my heartbreak. I would listen to Anytime. And a couple years back, that song came on the radio, and my daughter remembered that. She remembered, Dad, you remember we used to play this song every time we used to... So, and Mia don't have anyone they can really confide in about that because we're supposed to be strong. Went to the magistrate. And when we're talking about child support, I had my daughter at the time, and she had my son. I heard my daughter was going through some things. I had my daughter. I'm going to child support saying, look, my daughter is with me. Son is with her. Can I abate the child support? Magistrate tell me, Mrs. Williams, is that okay? Is she really with him? I said, you're right. I just told you she was with me. Like I'm lying or something. So I've been through a lot. And that's why I'm so passionate about certain things. And I'm really passionate about this whole AB conversation because it seems like black men, we don't care about our kids. And I'm ready for black men to say, we don't want AB because we love our children. We don't want our children aborted. We love our black women and we love our children. I don't want, well, it's women's right. They can do whatever they want to do. How about if a man wants his kids? See, they don't talk about that side because black men are, well, it's her body, it's her kid. And it's black men saying, well, so what? When are we going to step and say we love our women? We want and love our children. Now, the other thing is the other thing, but that's a very small percentage. And there is provisions for that. But most of those procedures are done because they don't want the baby for whatever reason. But when are we as black men gonna say we're gonna love and we're gonna provide for our women like we used to? Because there used to be a time if you got that girl pregnant, you had to marry her. Now you can say that was right, wrong, or whatever, but there was a responsibility for taking care of our women and our children. Some of them lasted, some of them didn't. But what are our outcomes now? Have our outcomes gotten any better from these baby mamas and baby daddy situations? I don't think so. So the Tyrese thing is definitely, and I'm a very emotional guy, so I cried drop of a hat. I remember I cried like a baby. I don't know if you remember this, Quay, The Pursuit of Happiness, when Will Smith was in that bathroom. Ooh, that touched my spirit. I had to hold my son at the time. He was about 9 years old. I held him so tight and cried like a baby. You know, it's just those things that touch a man's heart. And we do have a heart.
Right.
And I was heartbroken for years. And my children experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So it was very touching for me. So brother JR and brother Joe, I done been through some things, man. I feel y'all pain, but it's something different on the other side.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. That's real. Yeah, no, I had to give that video a platform. You know, I know folks have their mixed views on Tyrese, but I think in that particular video, he was speaking for a lot of guys who don't have a voice. You know, and I speak on this, or I've spoken on this before. You know, we really have to think about what we're doing out here. Yeah, when we talk about a lot of these divorces, and it's like everybody want to get divorced today. Just initiating divorces left and right. We have to consider what that does to these men. If I know the woman is in this situation, just like the man is in this situation, they're both hurt in these divorces. But right now, we only consider, and just based on what I see, I can't speak for everybody, but we typically only consider, from what I see, we only consider the woman. We don't consider the man. It's always the man. It was his fault. He did this, he did that, or he didn't do this, he didn't do that. That's why we got a divorce. But we never consider the man and how he feels about his family. Yep, and about being separated from his kids and so forth, and custody battles and child support battles and all of these things that come along with it. So I think we really got to think about what we're doing out here. Yep, Tyrese brought up a point about these miscarriages. When it comes to these children, a lot of these dudes love their children. They want to be around their children. They want to father their children. Yep, now I know we got situations where we say the man just left and all of this and all of that, but I think sometimes, it's just my opinion, sometimes if we keep it a buck, sometimes we need to consider if we had an active role in why that dude left. Yeah, we're going to keep it a buck. Yep, sometimes dudes, sometimes women leave situations tied to the other person, regardless if his kids in there or not. So we got to be honest about this stuff and really be thinking about what we're doing. And then sometimes we got to consider if the situation, to Tyrese's point, really needs to end in a divorce. Yep, do we got some work that we need to put in? Do we got some self-work we need to put in? But I don't think that's happening. I think a lot of folks is just like, hey, I'm going to throw these deuces and I'm going to roll up out of here. So basically I can escape this accountability. Yep, and that's not always the answer. So I think we got to consider that. But at the end of the day, there's always two people involved in these situations. The relationship, the marriage, the children. There's always two people involved in that. Yeah, but for some reason, we only look at one side. And I think we got to get away from that. Yeah, we got to get away from that. And we got to start considering the damage that we are doing to each other, which essentially is leaving a lot of folks out here damaged. So when the serious intentional people come along, they're having a hard time finding somebody that they can connect with. Because folks is literally out here damaging people for their own, let me be honest, their own selfish reasons. Yeah, so we got to think about that. But yeah, I had to give Tyrese, I had to give that video a platform tonight because it's a powerful video. Yep, and then the last thing I'll say, let's say then we get ready to wrap. The last thing I will say on that is, fellas, it is okay to express your feelings. Yeah, you are human, just like women are human. Yep, I know we've been pushed all of this. You got to be tough. What we like to say. You got to man up and all this nonsense we like to say. Yeah, but don't let these folks have you out here crashing out here. Yeah, because they want to look at you funny, or they don't want to look at you as all these terms. They don't want to look at you as a real man and all this garbage because you got some emotions and something hurt your feelings and all of that. And you don't let these folks have you out here crashing out. Yep, express yourself and move forward. Express yourself, put some actions behind it and move forward. Yeah, some of this stuff we got to let go. Yeah, we got to let go. Yep, don't take yourself out of here early because everybody got you feeling funny about something that's affecting you. So I'm going to leave it right there, man. We're going to take some closing and we're going to get up out of here. I'm going to go across top, bottom, and we gone. Chloe, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Just real quick, like, I appreciate this conversation. This was an awesome conversation as usual. I think for me personally, I'm obviously biased, but this is what I feel like sets our conversations apart. I feel like this is what sets our panel apart. I feel like this is what sets our show apart. Because I feel like when we show up as our authentic selves, as our genuine selves, and we have real conversations. Like, I appreciate Cole being just straight up honest. Like, and I respect her for that, and I appreciate her for that, because what we don't understand is when not to tell all our business, obviously you don't got to do that, but when you can be transparent to a certain extent, people can learn from your testimony. Like, people can get something from your testimony, right? So we don't know how many people, come across this content, whatever, they come across this content and be like, dang, I've been in that situation, or or I can relate, or oh, you know what, they're right, that makes sense, right? Like I think that's important. That's why we have to have these conversations. That's why shows like ours have to exist, so that we can have these conversations to bring awareness and to be able to speak truth, right? So I appreciate the conversation. Here's the thing: Black men are all that, and Black women are all that too, to each other.
Thanks.
To each other, right? We are all that. And guess what? We're all that because of what we bring to our relationships. When we can get out of our own way, we bring a lot to our relationships. When we can get out of our own way, we bring a lot to our communities. We have contributed so much to society as a people. So we are all that. We should feel that way about each other. We should feel that way about ourselves, not in a braggadocious way, not in a, ego, not in that kind of way. Just understanding our value as people. But understanding that Black woman, if you are valuable, which you are, then your Black male counterpart is also valuable. And we just need to remember that, because Black women, especially those of you who are raising Black boys, what would you tell them? If you have a negative view about the value of a Black man, you're raising a Black man. How does that make sense? I mean, we have to think about that.
It's real. That's real. Appreciate that closeout right there. Cole, it's on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here? You're on mute right now. You got to come off mute.
To the topic, Black men ain't all that. Not true. Definitely all that. I mean, I personally don't think there's anything better, but I'm just one person in this world. I'm just one person. Are there struggles, hurdles to get through? Yes, but who don't have those? But I would say, Black men are definitely definitely a standard. Definitely a standard. And it doesn't matter what is said, how many negative images are put out. I mean, others want to be just like them. So, there is definitely a reason for that.
Okay. I know. We appreciate that closeout right there. Vince, it's on you, man. You want to say anything, man?
Well, first of all, I just want to say Black men are the shit. And we have to build ourselves to be that. You know what? Just like I said, I'm an equal opportunity smoke giver. I'm on this panel because I've experienced a whole lot of things, and I'm definitely 100% transparent. I don't care what nobody think about me. I'm just gonna say the truth. I'm gonna say what I feel. And for JR and Joe, I have a 29-year-old son and a 21-year-old son, so I understand some of the things that you guys are going through. But just like I tell my sons, find your purpose, find your vision, find who you are. Take this time. Now that you're young, you ain't got no babies pulling you to where you got to make crazy decisions. Find who you are. Find your purpose. Take your time. And your purpose ain't in between a woman's legs. Because once you get yourself together, it's like a diamond. It's like a superpower. They can't help but fall in line. They'll try so hard, but they'll see your superpower, you shine. They can't help but fall in line. They gonna want to fall in line. And I know I experience it. My wife don't want me to cook. She don't get out the kitchen.
Right.
Let me make your doctor's appointments. Let me make sure you got your your vitamins. Let me make sure you got clean underwear. My white tees don't get dirty. She makes when you valuable like that, they'll fall in line. You ain't gonna have to worry about it. Cause where she gonna go and find you? Ain't a whole lot of you out there, Joe. Ain't a whole lot of you out there, JR. It's a whole lot of garbage out there. Once you make yourself valuable, once you know your purpose, once you know your vision, I love my young brothers. I love my young sisters. But we gonna have to be accountable and stop making excuses and get on this path. And black men and black women out this shit. Black women are beautiful. Yeah, y'all are both. There is not even a close second to black women. And I've been all around the world. Black, beautiful. Everybody think y'all beautiful. I seen white man fall in the damn pool one time. Look at that sister. He almost fell in the pool. Wife almost smacked him. It was that funny. So if we knew, and that's why everybody want. I know it's sound everybody. That's why everybody want to be us. Everybody want our swag. Everybody want y'all booties and y'all curves and y'all, you know. But y'all want to be something else, and we want to be something else. I'll land on that.
That's real, man. Appreciate that closeout. JR, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll say thank you for having me on once again. And I know I do chat a lot of crap. So yeah, Miss Chloe, when I did mention them earlier, that wasn't directed at you whatsoever. So I hope it's not personal, nothing like that. And to what Mr. Vince said earlier, yeah, he's right. You know, obviously, when he said what he said, that doesn't require a response. You know what I mean? Because it's not about no ego or anything like that. It's about listening and applying. And you know, Mr. Price and obviously Mr. Vince, obviously, you're both married. You've achieved life. You've gone through a lot, so you know what it is to get there. And obviously, you know, I'm still young and I still gotta learn. So I take a lot of wisdom from both of you, you know, to make sure that that's the goal that I got, you know, reach. And instead of like responding back or whatever it is now, you listen and you apply and you apply that to yourself and break it down step by step and see what it is that you need to work on in yourself as well. Because I don't want ladies to think it's always, you know, on these panels that it's always men going at them or attacking them or anything like that. It's more just a conversation, but also at the same time, the men also know, I also understand that you still have to work and apply certain things in life in order to achieve the goals that you want. And obviously one of them is definitely purpose. So as men, we know that you still have to work. And then, like I always say, you know, go out there, do what you've got to do, and we come back together and try and make this work as always. That's the main goal. Thank you once again.
That's real, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate that closeout. Joe, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
The question that myself and JR asked earlier, in relation to expressing that kind of emotion the way Tyrese did. Well, not just that once, but people made a meme out of his situation, his divorce. I mean, that's the reason why a lot of us don't come forward, let alone as publicly as he did, and for his level of celebrity. I think maybe other than Will Smith, and they made a meme out of him when he was at the Red Table Talk. So that's why I asked the question earlier. When you say generally you want something as women in this culture, you say you want it, but then what's the price that comes with that? It's that level of humiliation that those black men have to endure. Even Tyrese, he was being almost like patronized. He by the other black hosts, the male hosts. Um, so he's just kind of like interrupting, and he's kind of breaking the flow and getting up and giving this fake hug and all this stuff, and giving him tissue, making a joke out of the situation he was going through. And that's another reason. So even amongst other black men, we can't really be that, or we feel like we can't be as vulnerable like that. But Tyrese, for whatever reason, still has the courage to do it, even knowing that he's been made a fool of around the freaking internet, which is the world. Um, but I think that him expressing that allows him to take whatever those emotions are and bring it to the light. But a lot of men, especially black men, we harbor those emotions and we keep it in our shadow. And we know what happens when men who feel like they are unable to express that emotion that they feel in a healthy way. The result of that is typically self-destruction. Secondarily, destruction of other people, of property. The inability to move throughout the world as a functioning adult because they're just running around like toddlers because they don't know what to do with the emotion that they're feeling because they're taught, especially as boys, stop, don't be a crybaby. Man up when you're a child. Toughen up. So these are all things that we hear over and over and over that unfortunately get to the point where even at our age we ask those questions. Well, what does it mean to do that? And the consequences. Do you really you say you want this from a man? How do you emotionally process it? And so you think you want this from a man, but then if he's vulnerable, this is the price that we sometimes pay. Um, so we take a risk still in doing so. Um, what else I was going to say? Oh yeah, the example of men feeling um, like they're being ignored, their personhood. I think the closest feeling that women feel to that I've noticed is that when a woman has a child, a newborn especially, people come to visit her, not her, but the child. They look at the baby. The first thing they greet is the baby. Oh, where's the baby? Fuck her. We don't care. That's the kind of thing. And I've seen it happen. I'm like, dang, they just kind of bulldoze the woman who had the child out the way. So now you have this woman who feels what it feels like to then be us for at least a period of time when that child is still, really young and cute and adorable, and don't nobody really care about you as the person who gave birth. How are you feeling? No, that's secondary. We want to know where's the baby at. Oh, let me just kid. So that's the equivalent of how we feel in society, and definitely women who look at us that way. So I think they have a level of empathy for us after they experience it happening to them. Society avoids their personhood and their humanity, and their feelings and their emotions and how they process things. It's like, well, what about me? Um, I think lastly, um, with Vince, I really was touched by Vince's story about his ex-wife. I think that was very, I mean, I can tell he still kind of got him a little bit, even as he spoke about it. And even he was holding it together, um, which you can say is an example of us not really expressing it in the way that Tyrese would have done it. I think because Tyrese, even though that happened a while ago, he was going through it and he was still shedding tears. And I can see it almost happening with Vince, but even he still held back. He still had like, no, I'm not going to do with Tyrese. I'm not going to go that far. But see, that's the kind of mindset that we're taught we're so young that even to get to the point where he could even talk about that and get to the point of wanting to shed a tear, we stop ourselves. Or we'll say something like, oh, well, my mother passed away, I'll cry then. Or this traumatic event happened, I'll cry then. There's almost a point of pride of saying, I've only cried X amount of times in my life at these specific events. My wedding, someone's death, that's about it.
Okay.
Um,
Appreciate that right there. You good?
yeah. And in closing, I just want to say this platform is an example of you allowing black men to express themselves in such a way that is not very typical in most platforms because, as you guys mentioned earlier, a lot of people talk about gossip. A lot of people, these kind of topics is non-existent, and it's a really hard topic to touch on. It's not very popular. And it's not popular for a reason, because a lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear a bunch of guys who ask these questions, these really tough uh, uh, questions, and ask them about their mother. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear about Cardi B, and they want to hear Ice Spice, and they want to hear about this and like all this other stuff. But that's what's popular, and that's what gets the attention. And if you do cry on camera, with that note, I would leave on that note, and I would say, you guys have a great night.
Appreciate that closeout, man. Appreciate that. Man, shout out to my panel, Chloe, Cole, Vince, JR, Joe. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel. Let's just shout out to everybody down in the comments as well. This is Kandid Konvos, man. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely smash that like button. Smash that like button. Hit that share and hit that subscribe as well. Man, once again, I'm going to say this, man, and we're going to get out of here, man. This is a real show. This show is not scripted. Nobody is told what to say. This is a real, authentic, transparent show. Let's say y'all heard the story from Vince. We keep it a buck on this show. You might not like it, but that's just what it is. Because at the end of the day, we got to have some real conversations so we can get to some real solutions, man. Yep, at the end of the day, we got to stop competing with each other. Yeah, we got to stop acting like black men ain't all that. Yeah, they all that. Black women all that too. Yeah, we got to walk in that. We got to move in that. Yeah, we got to understand our value. We have to cherish our value. We got to start cherishing each other. I think that's the problem. We don't cherish each other. Yeah, we out here trying to move as individuals and wondering why things ain't working. Yeah, team is what got us this far. Working together is what's got us this far. And we got to get back to the basics and quit playing around. Man, shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Shout out to all my folks in the comments. Appreciate y'all. Y'all been dropping them all night. Appreciate y'all supporting. Shout out to all the loyal supporters of Kandid Konvos, man, who've been rocking with us since day one. Who've been, who gonna continue to rock with us as we continue to build this platform and get these great conversations out to as many of our people as possible. But man, Eva Wright, she said, drop those gems. No doubt. We always coming to drop the gems. I said, we got to help us move forward. She also threw us the stars up there. Appreciate you, Eva Wright. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. And we're going to catch y'all next Wednesday.